Today, we are diving into a topic that we are both very passionate about, conflict and conflict resolution. My name is Pastor Aaron.
And I'm Anna Jean.
And we just want to welcome you to Pioneer's Path. So here we are. We are sitting in the studio. We now have maybe a makeshift studio. We're in a closet.
Yeah, it's a closet.
We're in a storage closet.
And we only get half of it.
It's
okay.
Because the rest is decorations for the church and stuff. But here we are. And those of you church people that are watching, you can open the door and probably see our studio when you walk in on Sunday. But hey, it's a studio. We're stepping up in the world, okay? We're stepping up. This morning, I just want to say, what is your bevy of choice this morning that we're going to sip upon as we discuss?
My daily iced coffee, or I guess cold brew, technically.
Hold it up. For the world to see.
Cold brew.
And who made the cold brew? Who brewed the cold brew?
My amazing, wonderful husband brewed it. He didn't cheesecloth it, though.
I didn't cheesecloth it.
So, but he did brew it for me.
And I'm going really Portland hipster this morning, and I'm drinking kombucha. So here we are. It's really good for your gut health, okay? And apparently my gut is not very healthy. So I'm going to be sipping on this kombucha.
Nasty crap.
It's delicious.
It's vinegar.
If you like apple cider vinegar. But yeah. So how has this week been for you, I guess, with all your work and all your...
It's been a week.
It's been a week? It's only Monday.
Well,
that's true, yeah.
I'm talking about the last full week.
The last
7 days.
Last full week, okay. Any challenges that have arisen with Jonathan?
You're asking loaded questions.
Yeah, I'm trying to get you to open up and talk
loaded
a little
questions. Yeah, I mean, he got stung by a wasp on the face on Tuesday. So we got to have a 3 to 4 hour ER visit for that. That was fun. He swelled up and had to get steroids and Benadryl, and then a couple days later fell and busted his chin, so he's got a nice bruise and scrape on his chin.
So let's go backwards then. Let's revisit the ER visit.
Okay.
You
want the full story?
This is my segue, okay?
Okay.
This is my segue. Let's revisit the ER story. So we're at work, and
he's at daycare.
He's at daycare, which we have a daycare attached to the church. And we get was it on the walkie-talkie, or did you hear him?
No, I heard him screaming, and one of the teachers was bringing him in as I was walking out the hall to find out what was going on, because I knew it was his scream. I just knew it.
Like, your kid has that specific yell.
Yeah.
And like, if you're a parent, you know that your kid has that specific scream, that specific yell, that specific...
All the kids in the daycare can yell, and I know when it's Jonathan. Every time.
You can pinpoint it.
Yeah.
You can pinpoint when he's telling teachers no, and when he's not listening. And
yeah, so I knew it was him. And so I was coming out of the hall as they were coming down the hallway.
And so let's walk through that then. So emotionally, like, what were you feeling during that escapade?
At first I was fine because I didn't know what happened. I just knew he was screaming, and he gets hurt all the time. So, but I knew this cry was different. And so I was just trying to figure out why he was crying. And so then when they told me that he got stung by a wasp, I was a little concerned at first because he's not quite 2. He's never been stung before. Mm-hmm. So I had just figured we would watch him and see what happened. And within 5 minutes, his whole lip and part of his cheek swelled up. Mm-hmm. So then I was pretty concerned.
Because he got stung on the lip. And that was the concern.
Yeah.
And so I'm very... I don't want to say...
He doesn't ever want to go to the doctor.
I don't want to say I'm anti-doctor, because I do think the doctors are beneficial.
Sure.
They're beneficial, and they help us out. I just have like a I don't want to say a fear.
You do.
But an overwhelming like sense of anxiety when it comes to doctors.
So anytime Jonathan is sick, he tries to avoid us going at all costs.
Well, partially because we had spent it was a Tuesday. It was Tuesday. And we had spent all day at work.
Yeah.
You know, and when I'm in study / sermon prep mode, I'm just like mentally one track minded.
Yeah. Now, granted, it was like 4:15 in the evening. It happened at 4:00.
Yes, it was at the end of the day.
So it was the end of the day anyway.
Our brains are spent. Our emotions have been up and down throughout the whole day. Just because of like random little things that happen and little discussions that we have or bickering things that we have. And it's just like, at the end of the day,
You're tired.
You're tired. You're just ready to go home. You're ready to put your PJs on. You take your socks off and just chill.
Yeah. But anyone that's a mom knows that everything else goes out the window when something's wrong with your kid. So.
And for me, I'm just like, well, it's just a bee sting.
Yeah.
But then she's like, was anybody allergic in your family? I'm like, well, yeah, probably. I know for sure at least 1 or 2 people are. And so.
And it was on his face, so that's more concerning than if he got stung on his leg or his arm.
Right. And
so it was
us,
swelling quick.
Yeah, it was swelling really quickly. I can probably put a picture up on the screen.
Yeah, we'll show you.
We'll show you. We will show you. No, but so he gets stung, and we get in the car.
I Googled, probably first mistake. I Googled a 2-year-old.
Never Google anything during a medical crisis.
Yeah. Well, I was on FaceTime with my mom, and I was showing her. I was like, "Oh my God, look, he got stung! Like, not a big deal." And she was like, it's on his face and it's swelling." I was like, "That's a good point. I should probably call the doctor." So I Googled it, and I'm like, "Am I being irrational or not?" And Google says that anytime a child that is 2 gets stung on their face, you should immediately call 911, which I wasn't going to do.
Woohoo.
I'm not going to call 911 to come, an ambulance to come to the daycare.
A what?
I said it right this time.
No, you didn't.
Oh, I didn't? Crap. Usually I say ambulance.
You did say
I tried.
that.
I did?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, I wasn't going to have the ambulance come to the daycare for a wasp sting when we live at the bottom of the hill. Mm-hmm. So I figured we would just call the doctor. So you called his pediatrician.
I did.
And they said to take him to the ER.
She said, because I was like, should we come and see you guys? She's like, no, we're closing. I'm like, okay, that's great. And then it was, well, can I go to urgent care? Because there's one like 10 minutes away from our house.
Yeah.
She's like, no, you got to go all the way into Meredith Hospital.
Because urgent care is not going to be able to help them.
Urgent care is not going to be able to help. And so here I am, and I'm not the best driver in the world.
He's an awful driver.
Listen.
I love my husband, but he does not drive well.
Listen.
Listen, Linda.
One of the 3 teachers that I had growing up for driving was my grandfather, and God love him. But he used to be a police officer, and so he's very lackadaisical when he drives. So he taught me how to drive with one hand on the steering wheel, one hand out the window. You know what I'm saying? And so we were, that's just how I was taught. And I'm just but over the years.
But you're an anxiety-driven driver.
Over the years, I've seen car accidents, and I've heard stories. I mean, your dad is a Maryland State highway patrol, pretty much.
But he's
not
on
patrol,
the
but he does the accidents. He does cleanups and stuff of accidents and seen pictures, and it's not pretty. I've seen TikToks, and it's not
he's getting
pretty.
Anxious just talking about it.
The 2 things that I don't like the most is driving really fast on the highway and going to the doctors.
And you have to do both.
And here I am facing my fears. The 3rd thing I don't like the most is tight, confined spaces with lots and lots of people. So we get to the ER.
Yeah, that's a whole disaster.
We get to the ER. And here I am. We're going into the waiting room.
So he does manage to make it to the hospital safely. We make it there
I
safely.
went a
We're good.
whopping 82 miles an hour.
He was cruising.
You know, I was going right above, but not quite to where if I get stopped, I get arrested. You know what I'm? You get it,
Yeah.
right? I have my blinkers on, and
hazards.
people are cutting in front of us, and they're driving super slow, and Anna Jean's like, his breathing's being weird, and all this, and I'm like,
No, I didn't. I was just watching him. I sat in the back to watch his breathing.
yeah, but then you make comments like, how do you think his breathing looks? I'm like, I don't know, I'm driving. I can't look back there while I'm driving. So we get to the ER. I pull on the spot, and
immediately you can see in the front there's construction because the door is
wonky.
wonky.
if you go to Meredith right now, there is construction. Do not go unless you absolutely have to, or go to Berkeley or something, because
we probably should have went to Berkeley.
it would have been the same distance almost.
Yeah, and not construction.
So we walk in, and literally half of it is construction. So
now I have to give them props because as soon as we got there and they asked what was wrong, and I said he got stung on the face by a wasp, and they saw the swelling, they immediately took us back.
Yeah.
So we didn't have to wait to be taken back at first.
Okay.
That was good.
So we walk in, and half of it's closed down. Yeah. Half of the the lobby is now split up into three quadrants. The first quadrant is like an entry triage now, where they.
What'd you say it looked like?
Okay, so it literally looked like one of those like post-apocalyptic movies, like I don't know if you've ever seen like The Walking Dead.
Yeah. Oh, it totally looked like that.
Things like that. So we're sitting there, and I'm walking in, and like it literally looks like one of those like plague movies.
Yeah, we walked in, we just looked around, we're like, what is happening?
We're like, oh my gosh.
They have like these walls set up for EKG and
all in the lobby. This is all in the lobby.
All in the waiting room.
All in the waiting room. So there's like over here's the EKG stuff.
The waiting room's split in half with like a wall.
Yes.
And then there's another wall on the other side.
Yeah. And then on the other side, they're literally doing blood draws and stuff. And it's like it just literally looks like,
and he's a germaphobe.
Oh, dude.
Ish.
In some things, I'm very much a germaphobe. In
he's
other
not a
things,
germaphobe at home.
I mean, okay. In regard to cleaning and stuff, I'm not a germaphobe because it's my germs.
Yeah.
Those are my.
But
my
other
germs.
people, he freaks out.
But other people, I freak out.
Yeah.
And so it's getting tense, right? Like I feel it slowly starting to build because it was an exasperating day. That was one of the days where the kids at the daycare I had to go in and assist multiple times, right?
Yeah.
In the daycare because the kids were not listening that day. And, being the male.
But the good thing is that when we got there, they took us right back. But then when they took us back.
Pause. Let me tell it.
Okay.
Let me tell it. Okay. So they take us back, and in the back triage room, the room is split up. Literally, it's a room maybe 10 foot by.
Yeah, it's a small triage room, so it's really not for multiple people.
But they have curtains up in there to where you fit 3 people in the chairs in the triage room. Mm-hmm. And so we're sitting in the middle stall, and 2 other people are beside of us. And I mean, it's shoulder to shoulder.
And Jonathan's trying to look at these people and walk over and say hi. And
he's a friendly little dude.
He's like, hi.
Hi.
Get away.
Hi.
They're sick.
Dude. Now is not the time. They don't want to be your friend.
They're not interested in saying hi to you, buddy.
They don't want to be your friend. And so he's trying to befriend the people that
poor kid
that are not feeling well. and so the doctor comes in and checks him out. They shine a light in his face. He loved the light. Yeah. Then he started melting down because he wanted the light. And
the first doctor was very kind and gave it to him, let him play with it, let him look in his mouth, and he did really well with that.
So, again, tensions are building.
Mm-hmm. For Aaron.
For me. Because it's just like everything compiling into one ginormous crap show.
And of course, Jonathan's almost 2, so he doesn't want to sit still. Even though he has a wasp sting and his face is swelling up.
Bro did not want to sit still.
He didn't want to sit down. He wanted to play. He kept saying, "Mommy, play. Mommy, play." I'm like, you can't. You're supposed to sit.
And I think partially that's my fault because when we go take him to his personal doctor, to be honest, and if you're his pediatrician watching this, I'm sorry, but We go through your drawers.
But he just plays. Yeah.
He plays. We find the tongue compressors and we play with that.
He spins on the chair.
It is what it, listen, when you have a 2-year-old in a waiting, and it is what it is, all right?
You're keeping them entertained.
You're entertaining.
Yeah.
But 3 people, small room, not a place to entertain.
And it's sick people. So, like, you know, I don't want... we're there for a wasp sting.
Right.
I don't want him getting sick.
Yeah.
Because he's like, play with trash can and wants to lay on the floor.
And, like, that one has biohazard material in it, Jonathan. Let's not do that, okay?
Poor babe.
And so
and then he kept saying, take walk.
Take walk. No, we can't take a walk. And so he starts to freak out because he wants his milk, which, because we had not thought it through, we did not take it in. And Anna Jean's like, well, you should have grabbed it. I was like, I was too busy driving and picking up the stuff. And she's like, well, you should. Okay, whatever. So then there's that little bickering thing that happened.
I had the child in the diaper bag. I thought he was grabbing the bottle. He didn't grab the bottle.
I didn't even get into the back seat.
We were all confused.
But it is what it is. That's what happens when, you know.
We were just trying to get him looked at.
And so we're going through the ER and he wants his milk. So I go back out to the car to grab his milk.
And we're staying in the triage room waiting for the doctor to come back.
Yeah. So I grab his milk, his water, and his snack container.
Yes.
And
of course, this is all during dinner time, so he's getting hungry.
Oh, yeah. Like, this is... it's now 5 o'clock. It's been almost an hour.
And just because he got stung doesn't mean he forgot that he was hungry. Like, he's starving. He's begging for food.
Yeah. He wants food, and he wants it now.
Yeah.
He wants puffs, he wants Bob, and he wants people to shut up and get out of his face. That's just pretty much what it is.
He was not a happy camper.
His conflict was I want food.
Yeah.
I want people to get out of my face.
Yes.
I don't want to take this medicine.
Yeah.
And so I was tasked with going out into the car to grab his stuff. Now I go out there and I grab his stuff. I forget something. I'm halfway back to the door. I turn back around, go back and grab. I'm like, you know, might as well grab the whole lunchbox because you know how Jonathan is. So I go back and I grab the whole lunchbox, grab his bottle, I grab his sippy cup, and I'm going back in. Make sure to lock the doors because it's Hagerstown and it's ghetto. For real. And so we're walking back, and I'm walking back in, and I go back through the metal detectors and all that. They look through the bags. And I walk up to the front desk and I'm like, hey, my son's back here with my wife. I got his food. He's like, did they not give you a bracelet? And I'm like...
Now, to preface this, we asked the doctor before Aaron ever left the room, and she said it's going to be a little bit of a wait. There's a lot going on, you know, but you can hang out here. He can eat whatever. And I said, well, his stuff's in the car. Can we go get it? Is that okay? And she said, absolutely, that's fine. That's why Aaron left the room to go to the car anyway, because we did ask first.
Yeah. So go back out. Like I said, I'm at the front reception guy, and he's like one of those, like, I was 100% in the military, but I still bring the same energy to this position, even though I'm retired. Or,
and just a security guard.
And I'm just a security guard, right?
Yeah.
Much respect.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a hard job still.
Especially in Hagerstown.
Yeah, and clearly he's had a long day too with all the apocalyptic drama that's happened in the ER. And so he's
all the
like,
chaos.
All the chaos. And so he says, did they give you a bracelet? And he said it pretty smart. And I'm like, no, I didn't get a bracelet. And he's like, well, I need your ID. Crap. ID's in the car. I have to go all the way back out to the car, get my ID, walk all the way back in. He looks at my license. He looks at Jonathan's status. He said, the mom's already back there. You can't go back there. I'm like, sir, I was just back there. I was literally just walking out to grab his food. He goes, you didn't hear me. I said, I heard you. Can I just take the food to him? I'm trying to be really, because by this point, like my flesh was about to fail. I'm telling you what, buddy, my flesh was about to fail. Thank God for Father, Son, and Holy Spirit with me, because that was not a day to mess around and find out. Okay. I'm already stressed out. I'm already in the doctors. It's a whole thing. I don't think you heard me. No, I heard you loud and clear, Drill Sergeant.
I wish I was out there to see this.
So if I was a cartoon, like smoke would have been billowing out of my ears. It was not a good thing. I was like, dude, can I at least take the food back to him and then come out? So he says, yes, thank you. He gives me the sticker. He says to me, he's like, if you're not back out here, I will send security to come get you. Roger that, sir. Understood. Yes, Captain. So I'm back there. I literally take the bottle and the lunchbox, hand it to her, storm out the door.
Yeah, and he hands me the stuff and he's like, I gotta go. And I'm like, what do you mean you gotta go? Like,
no time to explain.
Like, he didn't explain
We gotta
anything.
get to the chopping now. Like, we gotta go.
I'm like, why are you freaking out? What is happening? And he just walks away.
Because I didn't want to get security to escort me out. It was already embarrassing. Like, the person throwing up in the vomit bag was watching me get reamed out by this guy. It was not a fun experience. Okay? It was not fun.
And then he walks away, so I'm still back in the triage room with a 2-year-old, and he's screaming that he's hungry, he wants his bottle, he wants to take a walk. Mommy, go home. And Jonathan now starts losing his mind because he saw Daddy, and then Daddy walks away. So he's freaking out. Thankfully, it didn't last long.
Yes. So I walk out, I hand the guy the sticker. I'm like, here you go, sir. Here's the sticker. Thanks for letting me walk back there. So I walk out to the car. Anna Jean texts me, hey, we're out in the lobby.
No, you missed the part.
I missed a part.
Yeah. So the doctor comes back and she says that they're going to give him a steroid. It's a 1-dose steroid, but it lasts 3 days. And then Benadryl. And she says, but you have to stay for at least an hour so that we can watch him, which I appreciate. Wasp sting, 2 medications he's never had. They want to watch him. That's fine. So I'm like, I said, okay, thank you. She brought it back. They're like, can we give it to him in juice? And I'm like, he doesn't drink juice. Well, can we put it in milk? I said, he will probably throw it at you. He doesn't like to drink things like that. She's like, well, it's in a syringe. I said, so, hey, give it to me. I'll syringe it in his mouth. So I tip him back and I give him the 2 medications. And she's like, all right, well, we'll check on him in an hour. And I'm like,
an hour.
Can my husband come back then? Like, if it's going to be an hour, can he come back? Or like, how is this going to work? And she's like, well, we're just going to send you to the waiting room so you guys can sit out there and wait for the hour.
Ugh.
An hour in the waiting room
with people hacking
with a
and
2-year-old,
vomiting.
and I got people throwing up and sleeping in the chair next to us, and like, oh my God, thought Jonathan was going to lose his mind.
I was going to lose my mind.
Yeah, well, you were probably going to lose it first.
I was.
Yeah, I was a little nervous because I didn't know how. Between Jonathan and Aaron, I didn't know what was going to happen.
We're very hot-tempered, and praise be to God, God's helping me through that so that way I can teach him.
It's a process.
But it's a process. Especially when I'm in a situation that I don't like.
Yeah.
I'm in a room full of sick people that I don't want to get sick for because I have nobody to fill in for me here at the church. Like, we can't afford to get sick. We can't, so,
yeah.
So here we are. She texts me. We come back into the room.
I originally texted him. I was like, hey, I'm going to be an hour. And he was like, what do you mean an hour? And then I was like, wait a minute. We're coming out. We have to sit in the waiting room. And then he's really freaking out. We have to sit in the waiting room for an hour.
Because I know he's not going to sit there.
No.
He's going to go up and try to befriend every person in that waiting room.
And so when I came out with Jonathan, Aaron had went out into the parking lot. So I texted him that we were coming out and he never saw it. So we get out to the waiting room and Jonathan at this point's freaking out. He's upset. He's mad, whatever. And he literally throws himself. And I have Jonathan, the diaper bag, his bottle, his lunchbox, like the whole thing.
The works.
And I'm trying to carry him and he's squirming and he's mad and he's upset. And so I go to set him down and he throws himself on the waiting room floor and screams and kicks. And I'm like, oh, crap.
OMG.
And everybody's looking at me like, what are you doing? And so I'm on the phone with Aaron, like, can you come in and help me? And he's on the floor screaming and everybody's looking at me and this lady's throwing up. And
she was throwing up the whole time.
It was not pretty.
Oh my
It was
gosh.
not pretty. And I had to pee really bad. And so then I was upset because I had to pee, but I didn't want to pee in the hospital because it was just gross. It was a whole thing.
So there we are.
It was a rough evening.
Waiting in the waiting room.
And thankfully, after 30 minutes, he ate puffs, he had his baba, and he fell asleep.
Praise.
That was That was the best thing that could have happened.
Praise.
The
And
Benadryl knocked that boy out.
he goes to sleep, and then in walks somebody with a juicy burger.
I forgot you were hungry too.
I was so hungry.
I forgot about that.
I was so hungry because I didn't eat lunch. Like I'd eaten like a piece of sausage for lunch.
And he gets hangry.
I get so frustrated when I'm hungry. And so in walks somebody with a nice juicy burger.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Anna Jean, we're getting food out tonight. We're eating out tonight.
And of course he's like, can we get Big Poppy's? And I'm like, it's across town.
Okay,
I'm not
pause.
driving across town.
Big Poppy's is one of the best restaurants in Hagerstown.
It is really good.
And you can quote me on that.
It's really good.
Big Poppy's, if you're looking for a sponsorship deal, let's
Yeah.
work something out.
We eat there all the time.
I got points, buddy. I got points.
A lot of points.
I got points. Every person that comes into town, I'm like, we're getting
We
Big
take
Poppy's.
them to Big Poppy's, yeah.
Like your family, Big Poppy's.
Yeah. And they all loved
They
it.
loved it.
They loved it.
They
It was good.
loved it.
It was good.
It was amazing. And I at least try to go there once every couple weeks because it is that good. It is that good.
Yes.
And like we went to a different Mexican restaurant and it didn't even touch it.
No. But Big Poppy's is across town. So we weren't going to go from Meritus to Big Poppy's.
And so she told me no.
So I said no.
And so I was like,
So then he was really mad.
so I'm like, I wanted birria tacos, okay? And so so we settle on Denny's because Denny's is literally right as you turn out. And we order nachos and
Mistake, by the way.
cheese sticks. And my cheese sticks were cold.
Oh, I mean, my nachos were good, but I had horrible heartburn.
My cheese sticks were cold. And that is one thing that you don't want to trifle with is my love and desire for cheese sticks.
It's awful. He gets them
love
everywhere.
them. I love cheese sticks. I just love food. But as we were just navigating through this whole event.
Mind you, the ER story's not over because it still continues.
Oh, it continues. Go ahead.
It continues.
Go ahead. Anyways, go ahead.
So Jonathan falls asleep and he's talking about food and he's upset and mad about the
I
food.
forgot the best part. Okay, yeah.
So
go ahead.
finally, it was like an hour and 15 minutes after his medication. They call us back. And Aaron, of course, can't go back with me. So I take Jonathan back. He's asleep. And they're going to discharge us and give us the papers and all that. And they sit us in a hallway. So there's not even a triage room or anything. They're discharging people from the hallway. So they have multiple chairs lined up all the way down the hallway, and you're supposed to just sit there and wait. And so she's going, and you can hear everything that's being said by the person next to you, so you know what's going on with every single person.
Yeah, Hippo would not be happy.
It was interesting. And so the people next to us, they have all these questions and all these things, and Jonathan's sleeping, so I'm like, it's okay. I mean, I'm sweating and it's whatever, but it's okay. He's sleeping. And so the lady comes and she's like, well, I have to take his vitals and stuff before I can discharge him because he's a baby and whatever. So she wants to put the oxygen thing on his finger, and his fingers are too small to do the clip, so they have to put, it looks like a bandage almost around his finger. Well, those of you that don't know my son, he does not like Band-Aids and he freaks. He doesn't like things on his fingers or anything. Like, he just loses his mind. So he's dead asleep, and she goes to put it on his finger, and as soon as he feels it, he wakes up and he starts screaming. And he is not happy about it. And so then she couldn't get it to read correctly. She couldn't get it to plug in. It was like 15 minutes of trying to get his vitals. We had to go into another hallway, into a room so she could plug it in to get his vitals. Meanwhile, he's crying the whole time.
He's literally screaming, no!
Well, oh, no. That's coming up. So he's crying. He's upset. We get back to the chair. We sit down. Then we have to wait for her to print out the papers and bring them back, which took like 10 minutes for some reason. So... And they were very busy, so...
Yeah, they were.
I get it. So we're waiting for the 10 minutes, and the lady next to us that had all the questions was getting her papers. And for some reason, Jonathan thought... And she had a bag of something, and I don't know what it was, but it was a bag. But for some reason, Jonathan thought she had donuts.
The boy loves his donuts.
And he said, Mommy, donut? And I said, no, babe, they're not donuts. And you would have thought that I broke his heart because he looks at me and cries. And then he starts going, no, 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 no. over and over, and he wouldn't stop saying no. He just kept saying no. And I'm like,
And I text you, I was like, is that him saying no back there?
yeah. And I said, babe, if you want a donut, like, I will go get you a donut after this ER visit because I know that this was traumatic. Like, I get it. Long day.
You never got him donuts.
You got him donuts
The day after.
The day after.
But you never got him donuts that night.
No. Why did I not get him donuts? Because we got back in the car and he fell asleep.
Praise.
So we went home. But he did. He screamed and screamed and screamed for these donuts. And Aaron texts me from the waiting room and he's like, I can hear him. Why is he screaming? And I'm like, he thinks somebody has donuts. I don't, he wants donuts. And so we finally get our papers and I asked the lady, I'm like, if once the medicine wears off, like, should I go to Walmart and get some stuff for tonight? Is he going to need anything? And she was like, well, you can't give Benadryl to anybody under the age of 6. So you will have to come back if he swells up. And I was like, crap. So we were just praying that nothing else happened so we wouldn't have to go back to the ER. And so we leave and we pick up our Denny's.
Which was cold.
We picked it up. And as soon as we got in the car, he fell back asleep. So we were able to make it home, and he went right to bed. We went into bed and laid down, and he went right to sleep. So ended decent.
It ended decent.
But it was hectic.
But the events leading up to the ending
Aaron
were
struggled.
very hard.
Aaron struggled.
Let me tell you, it was one of the hardest things of that day.
Dramatic.
Of that week.
Dramatic.
That was the hardest thing that week. It was tough.
Poor babe.
It was so from start to finish.
I felt more bad for him than anything.
It was, yeah, me too.
Uh-huh.
It was, I was hungry.
Sure.
It was 4 p.m. until literally 8:30.
Yeah, we got home at 8:30.
It was 4.5 hours of this nonsense.
Yeah. But I will say that once he got the medicine, by the time we got home, the swelling was gone.
Yeah.
And he was fine. It didn't hurt. I never had to give him ibuprofen or Tylenol or anything. Like, he was fine. Once he got that medicine in him, he was good to go.
Praise God.
Now, he was hyper as all get out the next morning, but he had a steroid, so.
Indeed. And so with that story in the forefront of this podcast, there were many, many times where conflict arose.
Yeah.
In that progression.
Mm-hmm.
Many, many conflicting things came up. Many confrontational things arose. Many times where we could have snapped at somebody and yelled at them or been unsaved and cussed them out.
Yeah.
But we chose not to. We chose to go the better route. We chose to go the better way. Because sometimes conflict is not reacting.
Mm-hmm.
It is taking a step back and not seeing everything as an attack. And sometimes, like, you perceive conflict differently when there are different factors at play. Like, had I not been stressed out and hungry and frustrated and all this other stuff, that guy responding to me like that would have never affected me, right?
Yeah.
Had it been different circumstances, the waiting room would have been different, and being back there would have been different. It would have been a whole different scenario under different circumstances, but there are times where the stars align just so rightly that it just feels like one thing after the next, after the next, after the next. And in those moments, like, we have to choose the right thing. We have to choose to be living as peacemakers.
Yeah. When I think times like this shows people who we are. Like there were so many things that went wrong and so many things that were frustrating that we could have easily just been like anybody else and flipped out. And instead, we were the ones that were calm and thanking everybody and and profusely thanking the doctors and the nurses and being respectful and thanking, they took care of my kid and I was grateful for that and he was good and we could have flipped out
multiple times.
That's not who we are.
No.
Or shouldn't be, at least.
Or shouldn't be.
Shouldn't be.
And you got to know your limits.
Yeah.
I knew that if I went back in there and I was still heated,
Yeah.
You know, it would not have been pretty. So that's why I went out to the car and calmed.
Well, and as a couple too, like we know that like I handle these situations a lot better than Aaron does.
Yeah, I
Anything
don't like
that
doctors.
comes
I don't
No,
like.
he doesn't like doctors. He doesn't do well if Jonathan freaks out or throws a temper tantrum. He doesn't do well with those things. Like there are certain things that I handle and certain things that he handles, just
Yeah.
depending on our personalities and our, I don't want to say triggers, but like the things that get us.
I'll tell you one thing I do handle really well is being on hold on phone calls. That is a strength. You don't.
I'll just hang up.
You do. You just hang
I'll
up.
just call back later. I'm
You
not
just
going to
hang
sit
up.
and wait.
But like, I just sit there. I do my own thing. You know,
Well,
just.
if I wait on hold and I just do my thing, I'm going to forget I'm on the phone. And I'm
Oh no,
just
man!
gonna forget.
I play the long game.
No.
I play the long game.
No, thank you.
But like, there are different strengths and weaknesses that
Yeah.
that we all have, and when conflict arises, sometimes it's really, really difficult to hold your peace
Yes.
and to be Christ's hands and feet in those moments.
Yeah.
Because for me, you know, the flesh side of me wants to clap back,
Yeah.
and you know, I'm holy, but I can be half hood too if you need me to be. You know what I'm
I
saying?
do like those shirts. I do think
Yeah.
they're funny.
Yeah. And so for me, it's like choosing the better way. I mean, like, you know, rationale says, well, Jesus flipped tables and Peter cut somebody's ear off. So, you know, but no,
Yeah, let's go
that's
around cutting ears
all
off.
jokes aside. Like we have to get to the point where we are so in tune with the Holy Spirit that in the moments when conflict arise,
Mhm.
we are hearing the Holy Spirit, following his leading on how to respond and how to react.
Mhm.
I know in the beginning of our marriage, and even sometimes still now, I'm a very reactional person.
Yes.
I react a lot of the time.
Yes.
And that's something that I'm personally working on. And I say I'm anti-confrontational. I don't like conflict, which in some scenarios that is true. And
Not in all situations.
in other scenarios, you know, I'm
He is all about it.
I'm all about it, right? But like for me, it's choosing to do and to be the right and the good and the light, even when the circumstances are all wrong.
Yeah.
And Ephesians 4:31-32, I have this in my notes here. It says, let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and slander be put away from you along with malice. Be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another as Christ forgave you. And so for that, also, Proverbs 15:1, a soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger.
Mm-hmm.
And so for us, it's not just not being frustrated or not being bitter. It's also not stirring up
Mm-hmm.
anger and wrath. And again, I know a couple podcasts ago I talked about how the giftings of my life are speaking, public speaking. But also sometimes my mouth gets me into a lot of trouble.
A lot of times.
And I know that. And sometimes it's when I'm in the moment, it's hard to shut my mouth.
I mean, we even have the conversations about like Jonathan, like sometimes he'll do something and we get on him for it. It happened this morning. He did something and you yelled at him and he said, sorry, daddy. Immediately he said, sorry, daddy. And Aaron just kept harping on him. I'm like, look, he said sorry on his own. We didn't force him to. He said sorry. So you have to drop it because he recognized what he did.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's really easy for you to just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
You do it with me sometimes. You just keep going. I'm like, okay, like,
yeah.
You don't have to keep saying it.
Well, there's a part of me that like feels like I have to try to explain my side and explain.
But you don't.
Right.
There's
and
a lot
like,
of times you just don't.
and that's kind of what I'm learning. That's kind of what I'm learning in all of this process. It's sometimes you don't have to tell your side or tell why you reacted that way or say, you know,
Not
just
everything needs an explanation.
Right.
Sometimes you do. Yeah.
move on.
Yeah.
And But like with conflict, I know in marriage you have different types of conflict.
Yeah.
In job, you have different types of conflict. In family, you have different types of conflict.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's a bunch of different conflicts that happens in a day-to-day life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can have a conflict when you're in the McDonald's drive-thru. You can have a conflict in the Walmart with somebody that you're reaching for eggs, and then they reach in front of you and grab the eggs that
Bro.
you were trying to grab.
We went to Walmart on Friday.
Let's
This is a
tell
whole
that.
other. It was last week was a week.
It was a week of testing.
So Friday afternoon, he finished his sermon and all that. Everything was done, and we needed to go shopping. We needed a few things personally, but we needed to do the grocery shopping for the daycare as well as for the church. So we go to Walmart and we got 2 carts. He has one, I have one. He's mainly just following me around, and I'm kind of like
Because when
getting
we go,
all the things.
when we go for our shopping, we go for the church and the daycare as well.
Yeah, we're not going out more than once.
Oh.
So I'm grabbing stuff, and it was really busy. There was a lot of people, and it was, for some reason, every area we walked in was pretty packed. And so I was trying to like get to the areas that weren't as packed. So I see on my list that I needed eggs. And so I go, nobody was over to the eggs. So I take my cart and I go over to the eggs. And I'm the type of person that like, I try to put my cart somewhere that's not in the way. So I'm like going to the edge of the cooler to put my cart. And this lady literally takes her cart right in front of me. And I'm reaching for the egg door. And she cuts in front of me, opens the door, grabs the egg, and then just stands there for a second. And I'm like, all right. So
Did that happen with the orange juice too?
Mm-hmm.
Was it the same lady?
Mm-mm.
Oh, no.
So she gets her eggs. She walks away. I get my eggs. I walk away. We managed to get through the store. Aaron walked away at one point, and no. You were standing in the aisle, and I had to pee. So I was like, hey, just stand here for a second. I'm going to go to the bathroom and I'll be right back. So I walk down the aisle and these 2 kids are like slowly walking. I wait for them to pass and then I go, and all of a sudden the adult appears and she just kind of like looks at me with this face like I cut in front of her, and I'm like, my bad. So I just keep walking. She had an attitude. I just kept walking. So then we realized that we forgot yogurt, and I had this like hankering for orange juice all of a sudden. So we're like, okay, we need 2 things. Let's just go all the way to the back of the store one last time. So we walk back there and we get up to the orange juice, and my hand is reaching for the door. I'm almost to the handle, and this lady cuts in front of me, opens the door, grabs the orange juice, looks at me, and walks away. And I was like, okay. Ain't worth my time. Not gonna say anything. And I'm walking away, and Aaron's like, did that lady just cut in front of you? And I'm like, that's the 4th time today in Walmart I've been cut off. Like, and they know they're cutting me off. And they just look at me. Like, thankfully, I'm not the type of person that's gonna just ream you out after you do that to me.
Nah, but you get a little zesty though.
I mean, but I didn't say anything to him.
No, but you said
I
something
gave him a
to me.
look. Well, I did say something
You
to you.
said something to me, and
Yeah,
then you had a little.
of course I did.
Little tood.
Yeah. At least I didn't do it to them.
That is true.
Better my husband than some random stranger. But it was literally, and then we finished Walmart, and we get home, and we're trying to put groceries away, and something in our fridge stinks. And so I decided to take everything out of the fridge, clean the whole thing, put everything back. And I look at my phone and I get a text message from one of the teachers that Jonathan just busted open his chin. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
He is the clumsiest
Tuesday and Friday, man.
clumsiest kid.
Tuesday and Friday was just the days of
I was
conflict.
like, you've got to be kidding. So we get up there and he's like, Mommy, my boo-boo. My boo-boo.
My boo-boo,
And he's got
mommy.
this big old scrape on his chin. And I'm like, what'd you do? He fell just trying to get up to the playground. Just tripped over the...
My kids are very clumsy.
They're so clumsy.
That's just what it boils down to.
Poor kid.
But for us, let's talk about maritally, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do we, I guess, navigate conflict
I think we're still figuring it out.
between us?
But it's better than it used to be.
Let's go from the beginning
Okay.
and let's talk about things that we've learned along the way.
Okay.
I mean, because here's the thing about marriage, like it's a growing and evolving thing,
Yeah.
right? Like the people that you married are not the people that you're gonna die with, pretty much, because both
you
of us,
change.
we grow, we change along the way. And that's a good thing. We need to. And going into our marriage, because I had, just been through divorce.
Well, like we've talked about before on a podcast, we both, it's not like the two of us got married young and are growing up together. Like, we've been through some stuff.
Yeah. And so both of us have had walls that we have.
Some issues, some things to work through.
And triggers that we've had. I mean, even just yesterday we were discussing certain triggers. That
it is an ongoing conversation that we have of, okay, how do we do this better? Because this is affecting me in a negative way. So how do we handle this?
And I think step one of conflict resolution is identifying the conflict within yourself. Like being able, like for us men, like it's hard for us to explain our emotions to the fullest. Like I can tell you, oh, I'm sad or I'm anxious or something, but like to get down to like the reason why, it takes me time to really think about it.
Like the root of the problem.
Right. Think through it and understand it. Whereas you're like, June 9th of 2014, this happened to me. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you like women are more inclined to keep record of certain things, and they're able to not just identify their feelings, but express them in a way to where,
I mean, I'm not the best with feelings. I don't like emotions, but
you're able to articulate. You're able to articulate exactly why I do what I do as a trigger to you. Yeah. Right. Whereas for me, it's like
you freak out and we have no clue why.
Right. And but like, here's the thing. Like for me, it's like these things happen. And they happen a certain amount of times before I realize, that's the cause. Why. I understand now, and now let me explain it to you the way that I understand it. And even sometimes you don't understand because my explanation is not the best. Yeah. And so, but step one for conflict resolution is resolving the conflict and figuring out the conflict within yourself.
Well, having the hard conversations is like the big thing. Like you got to be willing to. Like, I'm not...
And you got to be able to work on it.
Yeah, like, I'm... Like, for those that don't know my personality and don't know my history, like, I'm not a big talker. I don't like to talk. Podcasting is not my thing. Even at home, I'm not usually a big talker. I'm usually pretty quiet. I like to be to myself. But I have a husband and a son that are very, very talkative and very expressive. And I've had to force myself to become a little bit more talkative, because if not, it probably wouldn't have worked too well. I'm just not a big talker. Fair. And so I've had to like force myself. And so you have to be willing to force yourself to do some things you don't typically want to do.
Yes. And being able to articulate and say, hey.
Well, you got to be willing to do that. Like you have to be willing to do the thinking, the process. You're not going to just always know what's wrong. You have to be willing to dive in and figure that out.
Yeah. And for me, my go-to when I feel that tension is to escape from that tension. Yeah. I have the very, I don't know if you want to call it, I forget what they call it on TikTok, but like, it's called The Escapist or something like that, right? Where you run from the conflict.
And his running isn't physically. It's his phone. It's video games. It's the TV. It's let me do whatever I can to not think about it. Yeah. He's physically there. He's not mentally there.
Yes. I mentally check out.
Yes. All the time.
Like you said, video games, doom scrolling on TikTok. Yeah. You know, anything to mask the feeling that I'm feeling, right? And I think that's why they call it masking, right? Like they call it
where
masking.
I'm like, sit in it, think about it.
Yeah, you're very much let's sit in this. Yeah, even though it's uncomfortable, let's sit in this and let's understand why. And I think as I've been growing as a person over the past 2.5 years that we've been married, I think, here recently I've just started sitting in the tension more often. Talked a little bit about it yesterday in the sermon. But sitting in that tension, it's not a good feeling.
Yeah. I mean, and we had this conversation briefly the other day. It's like, what did everybody do before cell phones and TV and all that? Like, you didn't get to just escape through social media.
I think that
all the
was
time.
when we were driving to Walmart.
Yeah, you don't get to just escape it all the time. Why do you do it now?
That's a good point.
And how are we ever going to resolve anything? And here's the thing: it's not just it's personally between us, but it goes for family conflict. It goes for other things. Like, there's a whole lot of things that can be problems, and if you never deal with them, you're never going to get anywhere.
Right.
If you just sweep everything under the rug and pretend it didn't happen, nothing gets resolved and you never move forward. Not truly. You can pretend you move forward, but you're never going to actually move forward. And that's not what we want our marriage to be.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I've resolved, because like that's part of the reason why my first marriage failed.
Yeah.
Because we had conflict that was unresolved,
Yep.
and we never really sat in it to resolve it.
Or truly like hear each other out and really hear the problem, the root problem, not the surface stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. The root problem is always like, though you may not agree with the person's actions, it helps people to understand.
Yeah.
Right. And so like when I understood, hey, here is why I react that way. And explaining that to you, here's why I reacted that way. And here's my thought process going through it.
And so now what do we do about it? How do we fix that?
How do we fix it going forward?
Is this something we can fix, or do we need some outside help? Do we need, this or that? Like, how then do you fix it?
And at the beginning of our marriage, it was rocky.
It was
tense. I mean, we
tense.
loved each other to death.
100%,
We still do love each other to death, but like,
we got married for the right reasons. There was just a lot of outside conflict that created problems that we had to figure out. Okay, how do we deal with this for our marriage?
Right. And then like the internal stuff, like, how do I not remind you of your previous person?
Yeah.
And how do you not remind me of my previous relationship? Like that. People who've never been divorced and remarried don't really understand this. But this it was a struggle, to be honest with you. Yeah. It was a struggle going right out of our separation into a new marriage.
Yeah.
Because the way of thinking was still kind of the same.
I mean, after I left my ex, I never dated anybody before we got married. Like, I mean, long term. Like, I went on some dates.
Yeah, same.
I did some of the stupid online dating that never ended out well. I went on a couple dates. I talked to a couple people, and that was the extent. I never dated anybody. I just went on a couple dates. So us dating, because we only dated for 2 months.
Because we knew each other for 20 years.
Our dating was it for me. Yeah. That after my ex, that was it. And then we got married. Yeah. And all of that was very quick.
It was very quick. And it was for a reason. It was a God.
I mean, mind you, we started dating in October and we were married at the end of December. So it was very quick.
Literally the very last day of December.
Yeah. Very quick.
And like for that, it's
Second
like.
To last.
Huh?
Second to last, but yes.
Yeah, 30th. So yeah, you're right.
But yeah, you're close.
But like. It was very fast.
Very fast.
And I thank God for it.
Yeah. Well, and I had to move. Like, I didn't live around here. So
finding
moved.
a place to live and
I wasn't able to be here to even look at the places. You were house hunting for us. Yeah. Which, whole other thing. Like, it's hard to do that. It's hard to not be there and be involved in decisions.
I was showing you the one.
He would FaceTime
the duplex.
me. Yeah, he would FaceTime me like, look, and I'm like, it's kind of hard to tell on a FaceTime.
Oh, you're kind of glitching. You're kind of blurry.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what it looks like, but I'm going to try and trust you.
It was good. It was a good place.
The place we ended up with was nice.
I think we only looked at one place, didn't we?
2.
Did we?
I settled on this one very quickly. We did a lot of online hunting.
Yeah.
A lot of online hunting.
Because we were first looking to buy a place, and then that didn't.
The place that we ended up with was 100% good for us.
It was good.
It worked out perfect. Yeah. Had enough rooms. Had a nice little
garage.
yard. Yeah, it had a garage. It was what we needed at the time.
It was good. But then the house hunting when we moved to the Eastern Shore was
not
crazy
good. Well, we essentially moved and didn't necessarily know that we had a place.
That was a God thing.
It was 100% a God
God
thing.
gave me a job there. 2 jobs, technically. I got a job at Lakeview, and then I got a job at Benedictine, a previous...
Yep. And he had start dates and everything, and so we moved without really knowing if we had a place to live. We just went.
And God opened that door. Like,
He did.
Literally, the week that I started my new job,
Yep.
God gave us that.
Yeah.
Apartment.
We had a weekend to move in, and all of Lakeview came together and helped us move, and it was, I can't thank them enough because we would have never been able to do it by ourselves because we were on the third floor. So we had, at the time, a almost 6-year-old, a 9-month-old, and moving on to the third floor. So we were very grateful for the help.
Yes. But even in that
It was stressful.
complex, it was 9 months of the people below us cussing and fighting and police getting called, and it was just not a good
Yeah, he was very
scenario.
abusive to her, so that was fun.
It was just not a good scenario. But the Lord opened that door for
We've
a
had
reason.
2.5 years of lots of conflict. God's really trying to,
Settle conflict.
yeah.
And probably in us. Because, again, I say I don't like conflict. And then having the people below us being the way that they were.
Choking each other out and
Threatening to throw each other off the balcony
yeah.
was not fun.
Yeah, that was cool.
But that's beside the point.
We're like,
but then,
kids, close your ears.
Yeah, waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning hearing doors slamming and stuff,
Yeah.
man, it was tough.
Yeah. He even came to our door one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh, don't want to go back to that memory. I'm not ready to tackle that memory yet.
Okay.
One thing at a time. But like,
And we had cops show up multiple times to our door asking us what was going on. And
we
we're
were
like,
dude, they're downstairs.
it's them again. They're like, yeah, we figured.
Yeah, this is the 7th time it's being called this month. So
One of the times it was a guy I went to high school with, and he was like, yeah, we know. We'll go deal with it.
yeah, we got it.
It's like, all right, have fun.
But like handling the conflict internally within yourself, like that is the biggest, the biggest thing first. Like, because like you can take conflict, and if you're not completely in tune with the Holy Spirit, and you're not like moving with God, and
You're just gonna make it worse.
you're just gonna make it
You're
worse.
just gonna make it worse.
It's not gonna end well for any party, you know. And so for us, like we had to resolve within ourselves that we're not going to react. And again, sometimes, sometimes I fail at that.
Well, and sometimes it's hard for, again, I'm not a super talkative person, and he is a reactive person. So for me, there's a lot of times when we have conflict personally in our marriage, I am very quick to say, I'm not ready to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Don't come to me. Let me process, because I don't want to just spout off the first thing that comes to my mind, because that's not going to be kind.
Whereas me,
Where he just spouts.
I do.
And I've had to like explain to him that, sometimes it's better to sit in it and process and think before you speak, because you can't take back words. Once you say it, it's there. And that goes for conflict in your marriage, conflict with outside family, conflict with friends, in your job. Like once you say something, you can never take it back, and that person remembers those things. So whether you meant it or not, you said it.
yeah,
And that is going to affect the other person for God knows how long. It could be their whole life. You could really hurt somebody that way.
Right.
So it's better to think about it and to process, and then come to that person and say, okay, let's handle this. Let's talk about it.
yeah,
When you're ready.
yeah. And I think, in marriage specifically, like you're in close quarters all the time,
Oh yeah.
And one of
Especially us.
our rules is like we're never going to go to bed angry. We've got to resolve this before our head hits that pillow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like there were many times in your past relationship and mine where the arguments carried into the next day.
Days, yeah.
For you is weeks. Weeks
Sometimes.
at a time. Sometimes. And so, we got to resolve it, and we got to resolve it fast.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's also in the back of my head, it's always what kind of house and what kind of life do I want my son to grow up in?
Yeah.
Do I want him to grow up in a peaceful home, or do I want him to grow up in a hot-headed, reactive home? Because I want it to be peaceful. I want him to grow up and think good things about his life and know that mommy and daddy loved each other and loved him, and not have any scars from us. I don't want us, they say the parent can be the first bully. I don't want him to know that. I don't want him to think about that. Not just because we're pastoring a church and we're Christians, but like just personally in our home, what do we want our home to be?
Yeah.
For him, I want it to be peaceful and loving. And if that means that we step aside away from him and we handle things, and that's what we need to do so he's not seeing and hearing even just an argument.
Yeah.
I don't even want him to hear us bickering sometimes because what is he going to think? He's a child. He doesn't know how to process those things correctly. What is he going to think?
Yep. And there are times like where you will say, "Hey, don't say that," or
and it's not that it's anything
I'll
bad.
say to you, "Hey, don't say that in front of him," you know.
And it's not like we're saying anything necessarily bad,
No,
but for
like,
a
he doesn't
child,
need to hear that.
Yeah, he's barely 2.
Yeah. And so it's figuring out like how to handle that in the heat of the moment too.
Yeah. And it's allowing ourselves to be ourselves with each other, but making sure that we're very careful around our children.
Yeah.
Because you and I can, like the way that Aaron and I joke and bicker and stuff, like sometimes people think we're being mean to each other, but we're not. That's how we're sarcastic, we bicker, but that's probably not what Jonathan should hear us say to each other.
Right.
We should think about how we're saying things.
I mean,
because he doesn't understand sarcasm. He doesn't understand joking. Neither does Esther. Neither does Esther. Like, they don't get it. So they think we're fighting and we're not.
Yeah, we were talking to Hannah and Tyler, which is Esther's mom and her stepdad, and they're like, yeah, Esther doesn't get sarcasm. I'm like, no, she does not. It goes right over her head. And Jonathan's, he's younger, but he is the same way. I think he's gonna have the same. And when I was a kid, I didn't understand sarcasm.
I mean, I'm pretty
either.
sure one time she was like, Mama, Anna, and Daddy are fighting. We're like, no, we're not. We're joking.
It's just a joke.
But they don't get it. And so we have to be very mindful of that.
Yeah, we will literally like tackle each other onto the couches and stuff. And like Esther's like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, no,
we're just joking.
We're just messing around,
Yeah.
But so conflict is something that we all face.
Yeah.
And some days it's more than others.
Yes.
And some moments it's stronger than others.
Yep.
And sometimes conflict, I think the reason conflicts arises is so that healing can come.
Yes.
That's kind of what I've boiled this all down to. It's conflict arises so that healing can come. Conflict arises in a marriage so that way the marriage becomes stronger and healed.
And that way we can ultimately have peace.
Yeah.
Total, full peace all the time.
Conflict arises, with friends, and that builds your bond with them. Conflict arises on your job, and sometimes, that results in good things coming. There are many times in the, let's just take Apple, for example. I don't know if you've ever seen the Steve Jobs movie and stuff, but building the Apple products and, starting that line, there was conflict between Steve and Wozniak.
Gotcha. No, it's not anything I know
I mean,
about.
there's conflict there,
Yeah.
Whenever people are, building something, there's going to be some conflict because there's difference of opinions and personalities.
Yeah.
I know, with other things, that we've had in the past, people at the previous church and stuff didn't understand how we were parenting.
Sure.
Some people with Jonathan don't understand his food stuff.
Yeah.
Because he has food issues.
The whole parenting thing could be a whole other podcast.
Yeah.
That could be a whole other podcast.
But I mean, there's tension and conflict. Yeah. But the thing is if
how do you handle it?
Listen, let me pull this up.
Yeah.
It's in Matthew. I don't know if I have it on here. Matthew 18. If you have an alt against your brother and they sin against you, go and tell him his fault between you and him alone. And if he listens to you, then you've gained a brother.
Yep.
If you got a problem with somebody or you have a misunderstanding with something, yep, it's okay.
It's better for you to go to that person than go talk about them behind their back.
Right.
It's better for you to go to that person and just say, hey, this is my problem. Let's figure it out.
Yeah.
Instead of going behind people's back and talking about them and starting rumors and lying about them. You just go to that person and say, hey, this is my problem.
Yeah.
It's the best way to handle it.
I've seen you do this. Like,
Yeah.
can you explain?
Yeah.
And oftentimes, especially in the church world,
Yeah.
especially, you are guilty until you prove yourself innocent.
Yeah.
100% of the time. Like you'll be having you'll be talking to somebody, and someone else will walk in the conversation and you'll quiet down because it's a personal conversation, but they think that you're talking about them.
Yep.
And so, like, many times, even when I was a kid, I remember things with my parents where church members would assume something or assume that they were talking about them, and or assume this or that, and oftentimes that wasn't the case. You know what I'm saying? For us, ministry is hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's not it's rewarding, but it's not fun some days.
Mm-hmm.
But if you've got an issue with somebody, like, instead of assuming something.
Well, that's like, I know, and it's not anybody that we really see or deal with anymore, but there was a couple particular people that didn't understand our parenting and our rules when it came to Esther. And it's funny because now that Jonathan's older, they see that I'm the same with him that I was with her, that there's no difference.
Yeah.
You know, like, they didn't understand it at the time, but they also weren't going through the things that we were going through. And they also see now that he's not an infant anymore and he's not a baby, that he has the same rules. And he has to.
That's just the way that we've decided
the discipline,
to parent.
everything. It's the same. Our household is going to be the same for all children.
And believe me, that's not the way that I parented before.
Like, right, it's different.
It's different than the way that I parent now.
This is what we chose for our marriage and our house, and it's how you and I have agreed that we want things to go from here on out. And not everybody understood, but it's our house. And it was our rules, and people are seeing that had they just come to us and talked to us, we would have explained it.
Yeah.
Because that's what we've done this far. Even with Jonathan, I have people that have had problems with me because I don't allow him to eat or do certain things. And the ones that have come to me and asked me and I've explained it, they're like, oh, I understand.
Yeah.
You know, so just coming to somebody and asking questions or saying, hey, this is my problem, can you explain? Does a world of good.
A non-accusatory conversation goes a very long way.
A very long way.
For people. And that's something that I've learned even in our own relationship with us. Like, if I come into a conversation and I'm accusing.
Doesn't go well.
It doesn't go well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's
not the way to handle conflict. That's not the way to resolve conflict.
Right.
The way to resolve conflict is say, hey, I got an issue. I heard you say this, or I saw you do this, or I saw this post on Facebook, you know? Were you referring to me when you...
And actually, believe it or not, I heard two people in the congregation go to each other and ask that very thing. Hey, I saw you comment this on Facebook and I wasn't sure, like, did I offend you? And that resolved everything right there. Just saying, hey, did I misunderstand something? Like, that goes so far.
Yeah.
Instead of being hurt and having hurt feelings and the person didn't even mean it, you know?
Yeah.
You just go to that person and you just say something.
When we were at Lakeview, you had done one of those reels.
Yeah. Yeah.
You had reposted a reel.
Yeah, a year ago and didn't even remember it.
And some girl that you knew, that went to the church and stuff, off and on, she says, just messaged you out of nowhere.
So I get this message from this girl who I never really knew personally. I knew of her. And she had she occasionally came to the church off and on. And I get this random message from her asking if she could call me because she had a problem or whatever. And I was like, okay, I don't even know if I've ever really had a conversation with you, but yeah, sure, you can call me. And so she asked me if I had a problem with her because I had posted a reel on my Facebook story a year ago back then. So this was like 2 years ago now. And it was about alcohol and had to do with being a Christian and drinking and things like that. And she thought that it was aimed at her. And I was like, I'm not really sure what you're talking about, honestly. And she was like, so you don't have a problem with me? And I'm like, I am honestly baffled. I have no clue what you're talking about, but 100% I have no problem with you. It wasn't aimed at you. Like, no, I'm sorry if you felt offended because it wasn't about you. And so she felt relieved. And then I explained to her that when I was with my ex for 6 years, he was a drinker and we drank a lot. Ended up drinking every day. I became an alcoholic, like all of it. And so that post was for me. Like that was something that I felt. It was a conviction I had. It was what I was dealing with at the time. And so I posted it because that's how I was feeling. And she thought it was about her. And so her coming to me and saying that she felt that and I was able to tell her that it had nothing to do with her just squashed all of that.
It's huge. Like
it
that's
squashed
huge.
it. It was done.
And I think social media really does have a lot to do with a lot of conflicts nowadays too.
And here's the thing is people take offense to things that have nothing to do with them. Like if I post something on Facebook, a lot of times it's about me.
Yeah, it's about something
Like,
that I've
either-
personally overcome or been through.
Either
or,
I've been through it, I feel convicted about it, or this is a stance that I have, and it might not have to do with anything I know, anybody I know personally,
Yes.
but this is how I feel. This is a stance I'm taking. But that doesn't mean it's about you. If
Yeah.
you read it and feel convicted, that has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
I'm not posting it to get at somebody.
Right, and that's the thing. It's like if we have a problem with somebody,
You go to them.
we're gonna go to somebody
Yeah.
and say, "Hey,
Yeah.
I saw this."
Lots of people post lots of things every day, and it doesn't mean it's about you. And the best thing you can do is go to that person and ask them.
Yeah, and I promise you, 99.99% of the time, the things that I post on Facebook is not about anybody that I know.
Yeah.
It's just about, oh, I read something from Jeremiah Johnson and it spoke to me, and I'm going to share it.
Yes.
Or
we
I
can
read
relate,
something
or
from
we feel that. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes it's just like a nudge from the Holy Spirit, like that. What's the word you use all the time? It resonates. It resonates with me, and so we post it.
Yeah.
And the best thing you can do is to come to us and say, "Hey, was that about me?" And we'll tell you no.
No.
No, it was not.
I'll answer all of your questions right now. No, it wasn't about any of you. I promise you, we're not like sitting here subtweeting, oh,
Yeah.
so-and-so said this. I'm going to plan this out.
Yeah, no.
I'm going to post this. Oh,
No.
so-and-so. I'm going to use this post to get back at them. Listen, our social media is literally about encouraging people, building
Yeah.
the church, and keeping family members and
Yes.
friends that
And-
are distant, like giving them pictures of our
involved.
kids, you know?
I mean, the whole reason I post as much as I do about Jonathan, because I can tell you right now, if it wasn't for Jonathan, I probably wouldn't post anything. I'd probably delete my Facebook. But I don't live anywhere near my family or prior friends or anything like that. I'm away from everybody. So I've had so many families and friends and even people from Lakeview and stuff like, hey, please keep posting him. We don't want to miss him growing up. We don't want to miss anything. Please post about Jonathan. We really don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
And we don't get to see everybody all the time. So I try to be very proactive in allowing people to be a part of his life and not forget about him and not miss out on anything. And it's like, that is my main reason for posting.
Yeah.
Or again, I'd probably delete my Facebook because it's way too much drama for me. But again, back to what we were talking about, the best thing that person did was come to me and ask. Even though it was uncomfortable, and it was like for her even uncomfortable, and
She still had enough.
she was unsure how this conversation was going to go. Like she felt that biblically the best thing she could do was just come to me and ask, and it just eliminated any problem that there ever was.
And I think
Because I had no clue.
Yeah, I think a lot of like conflict does come from misunderstanding.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, think about on a basic level between you and me, like
Yeah.
a lot of our conflict comes from me misunderstanding or mishearing, or you misunderstanding or
Yeah.
mishearing what I'm saying.
Or you
And
didn't explain
the
it
communication
correctly, and I
yeah.
didn't understand. Like, yeah, 100%.
Because here's the thing, guys communicate different than women. We talked about it
Yes.
earlier on the pod. Like, guys communicate differently, and, you know, even like different categories of people communicate differently.
Yeah.
Like, I know people that are older don't communicate how we communicate.
Right.
Because they were grown up and raised in a generation
Different
that was
generations.
like, suppress your feelings, you know. be one big happy person that nothing is wrong with.
Yeah.
You know? And so when you're able to, I don't want to say confront, but when you're able to just confront what's inside of you
Mm-hmm.
and then go to that person and clear the air,
Yeah.
so to speak.
And sometimes with conflict, like it's a lot of your insecurities just coming out.
Yeah.
Like it has nothing to do with anybody else. It's
No.
your insecurity that you're
Yeah.
not dealing with.
Again, I circle back to it.
Yeah.
The conflict comes so that way you get healed.
Yes.
You get healed. Like I
Yep.
get healed.
Yep.
Like every time we have a conflict and I listen, I get healed from it. I'm sure you get healed from it too.
Yeah.
But like, I think these conflicts arise so that true healing and restoration can come. Look
Yeah.
at what I talked about on Sunday with David and how he went and had conflict with the other nations, and
Yeah.
he killed a bunch of people in the long run.
Just because we're Christians, we're not supposed to just lay down and take it all.
Right. But through
there's a way to handle it.
Through the conflict brought peace
Mm-hmm.
to those nations and prosperity to those nations. And I think how we handle conflict going forward can either heal people or tear people apart.
Yeah. Agreed.
And I think, this is the choice that we have to make.
Mm-hmm.
Could I have snapped at that guard in the hospital and torn him apart and had myself escorted? 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Would I have been able to go visit people in the hospital for my
No.
job anymore? No, because I'd have been trespassed from the hospital. I don't think you're hearing me, sir.
Oh,
No.
wait, you're a pastor. You are no longer allowed on the property.
Yeah,
Okie
for real.
dokie. Not a
but
good
like,
look.
but like, yeah, for real. And I mean, like, I know that there were times where, especially during COVID, I was with my dad one time. We walked into the Walmart and we had to mask up, and my dad and I were frustrated at it. And, we snapped at the person that was at the front door, and they're like, I'm just doing my job. I'm sorry.
Right. Wasn't their decision.
It wasn't their decision. They're like, just go get your grapes, man. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. No, for real. But like, that's the thing about conflict, though. Is how you handle it determines whether you bring peace and healing.
And
or
are you going to allow
cause
growth?
more damage.
Are you going
right?
to allow growth?
That's huge.
Like you should not become a Christian and stay the same. There needs to be growth.
Yeah.
If you're staying the same, then there's a problem.
Yes. I know that specifically in the past year, but like over my growth as a Christian, over the years of me being a Christian, I've grown a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay to recognize that you've grown too.
Yeah.
Like that's a big thing. It's like
Yeah.
recognizing the growth and thanking God that He has allowed you to grow. That's huge.
Yeah.
But you've got to be able to grow through it.
Mm-hmm.
And to confront sin in your life and confront other excuse me. This room's a little dusty.
I almost did that earlier and I was able to stop it.
I tried, but I was speaking. So,
well, and not only that, but acknowledging that you've grown, but also being able to go back and apologize too. Because there are times where us as Christians have said or done something to someone else and you might not have recognized it at the time, but you were wrong. And
Right.
being able to go back and saying, like, look, I did say those things or I did do those things. And I
or
shouldn't
even if
have.
I didn't, I'm sorry that I perceived.
Right. Like, I'm sorry for what I did. I'm sorry that I hurt you even is
Yes.
huge.
Yeah. And
That shows growth as well.
yeah. And that was one thing that I didn't do when we first
Yeah.
got married. It was apologize
Yeah.
frequently.
We do it all the time.
I do it all the time now. But I'm like, oh man, I'm sorry for,
Yeah.
Sometimes I apologize too much.
Sometimes
now.
I'm like, okay, why are you apologizing? It was not that big of a deal. Yeah.
But like, I'd rather be safe than
Yeah.
sorry and let you know that I am
Yeah.
sorry,
Yeah.
for my actions and the way that I responded or,
Yeah.
but I think again, like to kind of just wrap it up, conflict happens to everyone,
Yes.
sometimes every day, sometimes multiple times in a day. It's how we navigate the conflict
Mm-hmm.
that matters,
Yeah.
and how we love people through the conflict.
Yeah.
And to me, that's the biggest part, because the enemy comes in and he tricks you into seeing that person as the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
When in reality, he's the accuser of the brethren.
Yep.
He's the one that's sowing seeds of discord and division. It's the principalities and the demons that are working against flesh and blood.
Yeah.
To cause division and separation, right? And that's the biggest thing that like people don't understand is there are other powers at work in this thing. And sometimes, even as Christians, we can be influenced to say certain things that we hear the enemy speak, do certain things, not that we're possessed, but that we are listening to the wrong spirit.
Yeah.
You know, which makes things a lot worse. And so, like, for us, it's still in the middle of the conflict, being in tune with the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
Seeing that person as a human being, too. Like, that's the biggest thing that I've learned. It's when I'm in the middle of a conflict, that person is still a human being, too.
Yeah.
Like, though I may disagree with their point of view or they've done something to hurt me and I want to confront them about it, like, they might be going through something too. They might be going through hurt and pain themselves. They might be going through things that are not seen or heard, and or even traumas that they have went through in the past that are triggering. And seeing that person, as a human being, as somebody that deserves love and is worthy of God's love and grace and mercy. And if we can be an extension of God's grace, love, and mercy, like that's the biggest thing. Again, be slow to get angry. Let all bitterness, wrath, and anger, and clamor, and slander be put away from you, along with malice, but be kind to one another, be tenderhearted, forgiving one another as Christ forgave you. That's the big thing. Like, in conflict, already have forgiveness in your heart when you're entering into the conflict.
Yeah.
So that way you're not attacking the person, but you're attacking the problem. That's huge.
Yeah.
Attacking the problem
Not
over
the person.
attacking the person is so crucial. Look at Jesus. Though he confronted the Pharisees, he was attacking the religious system. Though he confronted the possessed man, he was attacking the demons inside of him. Makes sense? So see the person, but see the problem past the person, which is in the spirit realm. And when we resolve conflict like that, I think it's going to change the whole culture and society.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see restoration happen left and right in marriages, in relationships, in families, in workplaces even. You know, like when we handle conflict in a biblical manner with love and forgiveness already in our heart, that's the key, I think.
Yep.
So, is there anything else that you would like to add?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? You're like, I've talked enough.
Yeah.
I noticed the moment that your brain kind of just
shut down.
You're like, oh, yep, that's enough talking for today. And now the whole car ride up to the Eastern Shore,
We'll be
you're
quiet.
not going to say a word.
Probably not.
You're not going to say a word. You're going to be like, can you just shut up?
Yeah.
Just bring your Switch and be quiet. Okay. Put me in front of a video game.
Yeah.
No, I'll probably do some work in the car. But anyways, with all that being said, we want to thank you for tuning into Pioneer's Path today. If you like what you heard, share it on Facebook, share it on YouTube, do all the things that they tell you the algorithm likes.
What? Like, share, subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Gets on my nerves.
Also, we have a giving form that I'm going to put in the link to upgrade some of our equipment. Some of our equipment is older, and we have literally like $20 lights and microphones that need to be upgraded. So any dollar helps to that. Yeah, we have big plans for the podcast, and we want to be able to grow it.
Have guests.
Yeah, I want to have guests and stuff.
Yeah.
I'd like to get at least one of the guest speakers to be on the podcast when they're up here.
Yeah, that would be
in
cool with our
October
revival.
our revival.
Yes. It'd be cool if we could get each one of them if we have time.
But if we have time,
we'll
man,
see how much
oh my
time we
gosh,
have.
That would not be.
Yeah.
That'd be very difficult.
I know.
By then, I'd like to have the upgraded microphones because, yeah. But anyways, we love you guys. We thank you for tuning in. God bless you guys, and we will see you on the next episode.